You know, throughout my whole adult life, you know, since I was 18 and was old enough to vote, I've always made the assumption that politicians lie. That's always been my go to. Politicians lie. My joke was, and especially Republicans, okay? But my running joke was, do you know how to tell when a Republican is lying? Well, their lips are moving. But that was always just an assumption, a good guess. Something that a conclusion that I just came to listening to other older people, older than me, um, talk about. But over the course of this past 10 years, maybe even a little longer, I have had that um, good guess, that assumption validated. I absolutely believe that Republicans lie. Republicans lie. And even more so now. I mean, they make it as clear as crystal. I mean, you can see through it. And the whole thing with Mitch McConnell, that's kind of a pretty big tell right there because I mean nobody has seen or heard from him with exception of a couple of posts on social media and a couple of photos as their proof of life. And of course, Andy Bashir, governor of Kentucky, Mitch McConnell's state, has sent a letter to McConnell, basically telling him, look, we need to know. Your constituents, your state needs to know how you're doing. And personally, I think Governor Bashir should just call their bluff and say, you know what? If I don't hear from Senator McConnell within, between such and such day and such day, I'm going to appoint his replacement. Call his bluff. Call their bluff and see what happens. That will make them either flip or fly, but either way, we will find out the truth. And of course, we have Trump, and that's another one. He just he lies like a rug on a daily basis. The man is incapable of telling the truth. I believe this. It's the war with Iran is over. We've won. Blah blah blah. Iran wants to talk. Blah blah blah. But no one, especially in the press, will hold his feet to the fire. Put up or shut up. You know. And of course, during his campaign, he's running on the I'm going to release the Epstein files. And then unfortunately, the man wins and he can't shut it up fast enough. So, this whole thing, we have found out that what this MAGA base is, you know, from Trump on down, they're pedophile protectors. The far right was thinking, let's you know, release the files, you know, release the files. We need to know how many Democrats are PDF files. You know, that's what they kept saying. That's what they wanted. And now they found out that Trump is mentioned over 30,000 times in the files. Now all of a sudden it's, shh, we can't talk about that. No, we can't do that. Dear leader is in those files. We don't want to know what kind of bad things he did. I mean, no, we don't need to hold him to account. No, 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 no. That would be bad. And honestly, what I have decided that these MAGA people, the far right MAGA people that, you know, believe that the sun sets and rises in Trump's ass, these people are like, they're like that turd in the toilet that just won't flush. Flush the toilet once, floats back up. Flush it again, floats back up. And it just never flushes. It won't go away. That's what these people are. That's what Trump is. That's what all of these people are. Epstein class included. Corporate class, Epstein class. That's what all of them are. And of course, we know that it's corporate money, dark money, that is perpetuating all of this. It's the 1% that are calling the shots. And so, therefore, it's the 1% that are coming up with their talking points. And they're using a strategy almost as old as time. Maybe not that old. Divide and conquer. Let's get these people, the little people, fighting amongst themselves. And that is exactly what's been happening. And come on, MAGA, you know better. You have more in common with your Latino neighbor than you will ever have in common with that wealthiest 1%. We have, all of us in this country, we all have more in common, one to another, with each other, than we do to the donor class, the Epstein class. Mhm. This is the truth. This is the truth. And another hard truth is that Trump wouldn't throw a glass of water on you if you were on fire. He doesn't care about regular people. Never has, never will. But as I was saying earlier, I have really definitely come to the conclusion that politicians lie, which wasn't that difficult. It wasn't that far of a stretch. It wasn't that hard of a reach. But Republicans lie the most, and they are lying every day about everything. And now they're on this communism. We're fighting the commies. It's like McCarthyism all over again. Only not quite as bad. Because with McCarthyism, they were holding hearings. And they were destroying people's lives. And it wasn't just the, people in Hollywood. It wasn't just well known authors. It wasn't just well known people. It was everybody. Everybody. And all it took was someone to point a finger and say, that person's a communist sympathizer. People committed suicide over that. Are you now, or have you ever been involved in the Communist Party? Nobody was. Nobody was. And it took one man, one, in the media, when the media was honest, before the media became about ratings. I'm talking about the news. Well, one man, Edward R. Murrow, that called him on it. Because that guy, Murrow, who had been in broadcast news since the 30s, started out on the radio. But he called him out on it. And because of his reporting, it ended. But now it's not as scary. It's not scary at all because it's never going to happen. We all know it. But anyway, it's my rant, my thoughts for the day. And if you enjoyed what I said, if you liked what I said, whatever, let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. Subscribe. I've got 10 subscribers. 15 or 20 would be better. 100 would be better. But anyway, I'm going to end this here. And all my internet friends, take care of yourselves wherever you are.